Hey guys, my name is Tim Schmoyer and it's Thursday. Time to do some YouTube Q&A with you guys, where every week I just take a question that you guys ask of me and I do my best to answer it. If you have a question that you think I can help you with in an upcoming video sometime, either leave it as a comment below this video or even better yet, send a video of yourself asking me your question and I'd love to put you right here. The link to submit that video is in the description text below this video here on YouTube, so go check that out. Today we're going to talk about making videos look awesome on YouTube. Joe Dexter asks this. Hey Tim, I think a lot of your viewers would love an episode about how to get their videos looking HD even though it's in YouTube's default 360p setting. I'm sure everyone has noticed how some YouTubers' vids look great even in 360 as some others look pixelated. Yeah, so Joe, there's two different things that go into really making your videos look the best as they can here on YouTube. And the first is what you shoot it with. Your camera obviously makes a big difference. If you shoot it on a really junky looking camera, no amount of editing and tweaking is going to replace and create pixels that don't exist in your original frame and make that look awesome on YouTube. Right now, I am just shooting on my iPhone because it's super convenient and it serves my purpose as well for what I'm doing here. But if I were going to shoot like on my DSLR here, like this would give you a really nice shallow depth of field and be much higher quality than this camera is. So I would say use the camera that works for your purposes and your intentions. You don't have to go all out. Not everyone needs a DSLR. Some people can get away with just using their iPhone or a flip camera or something like that. The other thing that goes into making your videos look really good here on YouTube are the export settings you use when rendering out your project from your editing software after you've completed chopping it all up and making it look exactly the way you want it. I'll put a link in the description text below this video that will take you to YouTube's help article that outlines in detail the exact specs that you should be using when you export your video. But basically you want to use an MP4 file format and you want it in an H.264 Codec, and you want to export your video using a high enough bit rate that you preserve as much detail in your image as possible. If you don't know what a bit rate is, basically that is the amount of information that each frame in your video contains. The higher the bit rate, the more information, the more detail. But the higher you set the bit rate, the larger your file size will be. So it's not really beneficial to set your bit rate to be any higher than the bit rate that your footage is actually recorded at. Which, if you're using a little bit more of an advanced editor, you can usually find that by just looking at the properties of each clip and it'll tell you what the data rate is right there. Whatever bit rate your footage was recorded at, it's usually a good idea just to export it around that same bit rate. Now they will down encode it as well. I found that videos at 1080p here on YouTube are somewhere around 8 megabits per second. Videos at 720p are around 5 megabits per second. So just give YouTube plenty of headroom to have as much information as they can to really make it look as crisp and as sharp and as clear here on YouTube as possible. Now there is actually one other thing I forgot about in the beginning that does also contribute to how well your video looks here on YouTube, and that is some of the filters and color correction that you can use. Most cameras do a half decent job at image reproduction, but none of them do it like perfectly or even well. Even on my DSLR camera, I usually have to spend some time just kind of color correcting things a bit, you know, upping the contrast, maybe oversaturating some of the elements, adding a little vignette, you know, just some of those subtle things that you would never really pick out if you're just looking at the video and consuming it as a consumer. But if you're actually like an editor like me and some other people, you can say, oh, that's what they did. You know, you can see how they just made the image a little bit more warm or maybe cooled it off for different effects. I don't do that to these videos right here. What you see is just directly off my iPhone, so what you see is what you get. I don't really think that I need to put a lot of time into color correcting these. I do degrain it, however, because by default the image from the iPhone is pretty grainy, especially where I am right now in my basement and it's low light. So I do use a filter that will take away a lot of that pixelation and just kind of make it crisp and clear. For example, this is what it looks like without that filter applied, and now here's what it looks like with the filter applied. Very subtle difference. You probably don't even notice it if I wasn't using it, but if you compare it side by side, you'll notice that this is a slightly better image right here than this image is right here. Oh, and I just thought of a fourth one actually. It's not just the camera you use, but it's how you use it. You need to have, you know, plenty of light. Is there a lot of noise and the distractions in the background, you know, or is the camera jiggly? You know, when the more jiggly it is, the more pixelation that you'll get. I'm sure that there's other things I've left out that really contribute to a really solid looking image for your videos here on YouTube. I would love to hear from you guys what they are. Comment below. Tell me what I missed, what is also important. And if you have any tricks or tips or things that you've learned that really help boost the quality of your image here on YouTube, please comment with those below as well. And the rest of you guys, go check out everyone who's commenting down there, because there's usually almost every video someone is saying stuff that I've never heard before that really blows my mind, that really helps me out. So thank you guys for contributing to my video efforts here as well. If this is your first time hanging out with us, I'd love to have you subscribe. Every week we do these YouTube Q&As with you guys, just like this one on Thursdays, and then on Tuesdays we take a look at online video and what happened in the week before in the online video news, and we talk about what implications it has for the content we create, the audiences we're developing, and what we're doing here on YouTube. On Wednesdays we just give you guys some YouTube tips, ideas, suggestions, advice, things that really help you guys who have a message, to really help you guys communicate it and spread it as far and as effectively as you can here on YouTube. So thanks for hanging out, subscribe, and I will see you guys again next week. See ya, bye.